We live largely in a very unproductive society. That's why the only thing that is attractive here is politics and church. You need to dismantle it. And we're going to turn night vigil into night shift so people can be productive. I go to church, I believe in God.
Yes.
But we cannot have people Monday to Friday be in church morning and night. No. If I go from here now to my house, the only signboard you see is signboard of churches. You go to the east, it's burials. That's not the country. If you go to any other country, you see product.
Night vigils are a major part of religious life. Our churches are packed all night with people crying out to God for jobs, for financial breakthroughs, for visas, even basic infrastructure. We pray for security. We pray for light. We pray for food. We pray for electricity. We pray for the most basic things that people take for granted in other climes. It is the situation we found ourselves in this country. Recently, the former presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, made a controversial statement. But to me, that statement wasn't even controversial because he was trying to bring out a fact which many Nigerians have not yet experienced. It's only those who have traveled abroad or where we call abroad that have experienced the fact of what the man was trying to tell us. And he said in one of the podcasts with the Honest Bunch, he said that he was going to dismantle the culture of praying from Monday to Saturday, of people, Nigerians praying from Monday to Saturday. And he said that he was going to turn the night vigils into night shifts. Because of these statements, many Nigerians came for his head. He was abused, he was accused, he was lambasted by some Nigerian Christians, especially those who thought that he was attacking them. And not only that, he was even pastors took part in this behavior of attacking the man and saying all sorts of things about him just because they misunderstood him. And I also want to believe that he wasn't just misunderstood. Many people who have seen church as a means of getting rich, they may have understood what the man said, but still, they knew that their congregation would key into their sentiments. One thing is very clear here. Let us ask ourselves, why is it that when these same people who have been spending Mondays to Saturdays praying in churches, going for night vigils, going for deliverances, going for ministrations, going for crusades, going for midweek services and all these things, how come that when they step their feet in any of the European countries, they never post about going for night vigils or praying for this or going for deliverances or going for Thanksgiving and all that stuff? Why is it that Nigerians reduce their amount of prayers when they go abroad? It's not that they don't pray, don't get me wrong. Nigerians pray, but how come the prayers reduce when they go abroad or when they step their feet on the white man's land or wherever they think is better than the country? The answer is very clear. In those places, most of the things we pray for in Nigeria are already provided by the government, which is what our government is supposed to do for us down here. You don't pray for electricity. It's not necessary because once you turn on your switch, the light comes on. You do not pray for water because your taps are live with water. You do not pray for security because the government provides security. You can walk on the road in the middle of the night without any fear. You feel secure. You feel that you matter to the government, and you can feel that security when you are living in these places. So you don't pray. But in Nigeria, You notice that, and I know that all of you listening to me at this moment have experienced this. Whenever you want to travel, some people will come to your boss or to your wherever you are, and they will ask you to pray, even if they didn't come. After some time in the bus or in whatever means you are using to travel, even in the boat, somebody would want to pray. And one of the prayer points is always security. You pray that you will get to where you're going in peace and come back in one piece. Why does that happen? Because it's either you are afraid that the roads, you're doing that because the roads are not good. They are prone. You are at risk of dying from road traffic accident caused by bad roads, untrained and uncertified drivers, bad and uncertified vehicles, armed robbers on the way, and terrorists and kidnappers, which has become rife in our country at the moment. These things are what the government is supposed to shield you from, to make the roads very safe for you, make sure that you are protected from terrorists, from armed robbers, and from road traffic accidents. The government is even supposed to make sure that anybody that drives your car or that moves you from one place to the other is fully certified, fully trained, and not just anybody at all. But this is not what is happening in our country. So let us ask ourselves, are we praying too much in Nigeria? Do you think we are praying too much in Nigeria? It's very, very clear what Mr. Peter Obi said. A functioning system or a functioning country naturally shifts people from unnecessary night vigils to productive night shifts. It's very clear. And those of us who have traveled outside the country understand this. Any Nigerian that has shifted from Nigeria to anywhere around the world can understand this. People work 24 hours in these countries. There are people who work in the day and there are people who work in the night. And Nigerians who are in these places follow the same pattern. So, because they are always engaged in these jobs that give them those big monies that they send home and build big things, they don't have time for vigils. I am not saying that they don't pray. They do. They pray very well. They go to churches. There are fellowships around here. However, they do not pray like we do in Nigeria. And the reason is very simple. So there is no need of attacking Peter Obi or calling him all sorts of names, or even calling him the beast or apocalypse or the 666 or whatever. He is none of that. And let me even remind us that, did you know that Peter Obi comes from a very religious family? He has a reverend father in his family. One of his brothers is a reverend father. One of his sisters is a reverend sister. So how do you think that such a man from this kind of family would be speaking against you praying? That is not true. And I know we understood this. Nigeria is a place where poverty is very rife because our government has been corrupt for many years. Government has not done what it's supposed to do for us. And because of that, many of our people graduate every year without having any jobs or anything to do. And this has been a problem. We now try to rely on prayers as an easy get away from our problems, which is not supposed to be. Unemployment, insecurity, not being hopeful, or not knowing where the next meal is coming from. And recently, as the new government came in and destroyed the hopes of the common man, all these things have even aggravated the problem of Nigerians praying and hoping that prayers will solve our problems. Imagine a farmer who prays for harvests, praying for a bounty harvest, and he doesn't plant. Do you think it will work? It will not work. Even the Bible told us that faith without works is dead. It's dead. So, what do we think is the solution to this? Learn a skill? No. Those pastors and those people will not talk about this. They will not tell you what to do to get out of that. They only tell you about praying and how prayer can get you, how prayer can make God to suddenly make a poor man rich. How would a poor man suddenly become rich if the poor man doesn't have anything to do? Does it work like that? No, even the Bible told us that it doesn't work that way. Because of the joblessness in Nigeria, because of the high level of unemployment, we are told that about more than 100 million people in Nigeria are poor, are multidimensionally poor. And another statistic told us that about 37% of Nigerians are poor, are unemployed. This is a staggering number. And no country can progress with this type of statistic. In China or Germany, people are in factories, hospitals, IT firms, and many other industries at night, working, making money. So they don't have time for unending night vigils. Where people have night shifts, in countries where people have night shifts, there is no time for night vigils. They don't. They don't have such length of night vigils there. Even the pastors collecting tithes from jobless members are running profitable churches as businesses. They are running them as businesses. So, how can a functioning society fix this naturally? When there are jobs, people will have less time for night vigils. It's a basic fact. When the government provides security, our people will not need to pray against kidnappers at 2 a.m. They won't. If you move a Nigerian abroad, they suddenly stop attending night vigils. Ask any Nigerian that has been abroad. They will tell you they don't go for night vigils because they are working. It's either they are on night shift or they are on day shift. And this is what Peter Obi was trying to let us know, that if Nigeria start working like those countries, instead of going for those night vigils, people will be busy going for night shift. They will be booking for shifts. I remember one of the things he said in his manifesto, that he will start paying Nigerians like they pay them abroad on hourly basis. And it was one of the things that attracted many people to him. Just imagine it. Many Nigerians think that maybe excessive praying or night vigiling is a sign of faith. No, it's not a sign of faith, and it doesn't replace responsibility, personal responsibility. No, it doesn't. Some of our pastors work abroad, but they are telling people to pray for prosperity instead of working for prosperity. How does that work? How is that pastor a sincere person? So, in concluding this, faith is good. Yes, prayer is good. I'm not against faith. I am a Christian. I pray. I pray with my family. I go for vigils. Yes. I have vigils in my own house, have my own special quiet time and prayers. But it doesn't replace my work. When it's time for work, I go for my work. If Nigeria was a working country, night vigils will reduce on their own. And let me tell us, instead of spending every night praying for miracles, why don't we take actions? Are we truly a praying nation? Or are we just avoiding responsibilities? My dear friends, comment below. Do you think that night vigils are necessary or just a distraction from real work? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Subscribe to this channel and share this video. Let others also join in the conversation. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.